Okay, good. Okay, yeah, let's start. Yeah, it's my pleasure to announce today's talk. Today's talk is by Susmita Seal. Is the pronunciation correct, actually?
Yes, it is correct.
Okay, that's good. PhD student at Akhiaveri of Professor Sudeshna Basu. And she will talk about stability results of small diameter properties in Banach spaces. Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk in this colloquium. And I also want to thank Professor Ajit Iqbal Singh for attending my talk. And I feel so honored that I am talking in front of you. And I also want to thank Professor Rao for attending my talk. And I have used many of his results in this work. So thank you, sir. And I also want to thank many other professors from some other university and our university, and my pleasure to all of them. So today I want to talk about stability results of small diameter properties in Banach spaces. This is my joint work with Professor Sudeshna Basu, who is my guide, and I also want to thank her for her continuous support and kind guidance in writing these proofs. So let's start our discussion. Throughout this discussion, we restrict ourselves in real non-trivial Banach space, and we will denote the dual space of X by the notation X star, and also we will denote the closed unit ball by Bx and unit sphere by the notation Sx. So before going to our main discussion, I want to state some definitions. So first definition is what is called slice. So for defining slice, we first consider a non-empty bounded subset B of X. Then slice of B is collection of all those points from B such that X star of X is greater than supremum of X star minus alpha. Supremum of X star over B minus alpha, where X star is taken from the dual of X and alpha is any positive number. Now here, without loss of generality, we can also assume that this X star is coming from the Sx star. That means unit sphere in the dual space. This is the reason for that, you can see. And so from now, when we talk about slice, then we always mean that this functional is coming from the unit sphere without mentioning. And this is the pictorial representation of slice, where this shaded region denotes the slice of P. Here I also repeat the definition of slice one more time. So from definition, we can see that a slice of B is actually the non-empty intersection of B with this weakly open set. So from this observation, we can say that every slice of B is also relatively weakly open in B. And similarly, we can also define weak star slice in dual space. In that case, we need to choose a bounded non-empty subset B from the dual space, and then weak star slice of B is defined in a similar manner. But the difference is here we consider these functionals from the pre-dual space, not the dual space. And similarly, here we can also say that without loss of generality, we can take this function X from the Sx. And these are some other definitions which we will use later. So the first definition is norming set. So a subset A in Bx star is called norming set for X if norm of X is supremum of mod X star X, where supremum is taken over A and it is true for all X. So from Hahn-Banach theorem, we know that norm X is supremum of mod X star X, where supremum is taken over the full set Bx star. But here advantage is, if A is a norming set for X, then we don't need to take this supremum over the full set. Instead of that, we can only take this supremum over A and it is enough. So that is the advantage here. Then a closed subspace F is called norming subspace if unit ball of F is a norming set for X. And the second, and an easy example for this norming set is C0 is always a norming subspace in L infinity. And next definition is renting point. a point X in bounded set C is called denting point if we can find a slice containing that point with diameter arbitrarily small. And similarly, we can also define weak star denting point in dual space. In that case, we want weak star slices containing that point with diameter small. And the second definition, third definition is point of continuity. So a point X in bounded set C is called point of continuity if the identity map from C weak topology to C norm topology is continuous at X. And similarly, here we can also define weak star point of continuity in the dual space. The last definition is small combination of slices point. So a point X in bounded convex set C is called small combination of slices point if there exists a convex combination of slices containing that point with small diameter. And we can also define weak star SCS point in dual space of X in similar way. Now we talk about an important lemma in Banach space theory, which is called Bourgain's lemma, and we will use it in our work several times. But now I am only stating this lemma without proof. So the lemma says if C is a convex set in the dual space, and if we consider any relatively weak star open subset of C, then there always exists a convex combination of weak star slices which is contained in that weak star open set. And it is also true for weakly open set. That means if we consider C is convex set in X, and if we consider a weakly open set in C, then similarly there exists a convex combination of slices containing in that set. Basically, this last case is the corollary of this first one. And remember, in here we are talking about small diameter properties. So the question is why we are interested in small diameter properties. So our motivation comes from three well-known properties in Banach space theory that are called Radon-Nikodym property, point of continuity property, and strongly regular property. So this Radon-Nikodym property has many equivalent definitions in Banach space theory, but since here we are talking about geometry of Banach spaces, so I am only giving the geometric definitions of RMP. So this geometric definition says that every non-empty closed and bounded subset of X has slices with small diameter. And the second definition is point of continuity property. This says every non-empty closed bounded subset of X has relatively weakly open subset of small diameter. And the third definition is strongly regular, which says every non-empty closed bounded and convex subset of X has convex combination of slices with small diameter. And from definition, you can see that RNP always implies PCP, because if we have a slice with small diameter, then I have proved just before a few slides that a slice of a set is also weakly open in that set. So if we have a slice with small diameter, then it is also a weakly open subset in that closed bounded set with small diameter. So RNP implies PCP, and PCP implies SR because if we have a weakly open set with small diameter, then by Bourgain's lemma, there exists a convex combination of slices containing in that weakly open set. So that convex combination of slices also diameter small, because if the bigger set have small diameter, so that convex combination of slices has also small diameter. So PCP implies SR. Now this is a brief survey of those properties, that's RNP, PCP, and SR. So Lindenstrass first proved that X has the property RNP implies every non-empty closed convex and bounded subset of X is a closed convex hull of its extreme points, which is known as Crane-Millman property. But he could not prove its converse, and it is still an open question whether the converse is true or not. Then in 1975, Phelps and Amioka proved that X is Asplund if and only if its dual space has RNP. So Asplund means every separable subspace of X has separable dual. And then in 1978, Bourgain proved that X has RNP if and only if every non-empty weakly closed bounded subset of X has an extreme point. Finally, in 1987, Schacharmeier improved this first result of Lindenstrass in a special space, strongly regular space, that he proved that RNP and KMP are equivalent in this strongly regular space, but for general space, it is still unknown. Again, in case of SCS point, Burge first mentioned this concept of SCS points in 1979, and which is later on famous due to Burge's lemma. And then in 1987, these four mathematicians, Gosabe, Godefroy, Moore, and Schassermeyer, introduced these SCS points as a slice generalization of Denting points as well as point of continuity. And they also proved that X is strongly regular if and only if every non-empty bounded convex set K is the norm closure of its SCS point. So there is many other results also in this context, but I said only those which is relevant to our discussion. So now we can define three new geometric properties in Banach spaces, which are basically the localized version of those properties, RNP, PCP, and SR. So our first definition is ball-mall combination of slice property, which is introduced by Professor Basu and Professor Rao. This is the localized version of strongly regular property. Remember, in strongly regular property, we had every closed bounded convex subset of X has a convex combination of slices with small diameter. But now we are concentrating on closed unit ball. That means here the definition is closed unit ball has convex combination of slices of arbitrarily small diameter. And that's why it is called the localized version of strongly regular property. Similarly, the next definition is ball dentable property, which is introduced by Professor Basu, and it is the localized version of RNP. So the definition says the closed unit ball has slices of arbitrarily small diameter. And the third property, which is called ball huskable property, which we define in similar way that the closed unit ball has relatively weakly open subsets of arbitrarily small diameter. And similarly, we can also define the small diameter properties for weak star cases in the dual space. In that case, the only difference is here unit ball has convex combination of weak star slices, and this is weak star slice and this is weak star open subset, and everything remaining are same. So this is all the relation between BDP, BHP, and BSCSP, weak star BDP, weak star BHP, and weak star BSCSP, what we have defined. These are the relation among all of these properties. So BDP implies BHP because that we have proved earlier that every slice is also a weakly open set. So BDP implies BHP because if we have a slice with diameter small, then it is also a weakly open set with diameter small. So BDP implies BHP. And similarly, if we use the Burge's lemma, then BHP also implies BSCSP. And then if since the weak star slice is also a weak star open set, so weak star BDP implies weak star BHP. And if we use the weak star version of Burge's lemma, then weak star BHP also implies weak star BSCSP. And since we know that every weak star slice is also a slice, so weak star BDP implies BDP. And weak star open set is also a weakly open set, so weak star BHP implies BHP. And similarly, weak star BSCSP implies BSCSP. So this is the relation, but interestingly, none of the reverse implication is true here. Some of them are quite complicated, so I'm not going into that, but I will give one of the example later. So this is the plan, what we want to do here. So the first, we discuss some stability results for BDP, BHP, and BSCSP under LP sum, C0 sum, and Bochner spaces. Then we will discuss small diameter properties and free space property. And finally, we will discuss the stability results of small diameter properties in ideals of Banach spaces. Basically, M ideals, almost isometric ideals, and strict ideals. So before going into any stability result, I just want to prove a proposition which gives a nice flavor between these small diameter properties and their weak star version. So the result says if X has small diameter properties, if and only if its double dual has the same weak star small diameter properties. So this is true for BDP, BHP, and BSCSP all, but I just want I just want to prove the result for BDP, and then everything remaining are same. So suppose X has BDP, so Bx has a slice. Suppose S Bx extra alpha. This is a slice with diameter less than epsilon. Now by Goldstein's theorem, which says that Bx is always weak star dense in the bidual unit ball, then using that theorem, we can prove easily that this slice is weak star dense in the corresponding weak star slice in Bx double dual. That means this is the corresponding slice S Bx double dual X star alpha. So since this is dense in the corresponding weak star slice, then by using lower semi-continuity property, we can say that diameter of Bx is less than epsilon implies diameter of corresponding slices has also less than epsilon, and therefore X double dual has weak star BDP. And the converse part is easy, because if X double dual has weak star BDP, then there exists a slice, weak star slice in Bx double star with diameter less than epsilon. And now if we consider the corresponding slice in Bx, that means a restriction of this slice over Bx is Bx X star alpha, then it is contained in the previous one, and since the previous slice has diameter less than epsilon, so this has also diameter less than epsilon. So we can get the result. And this is an easy corollary from the previous proposition, which says that if X has small diameter properties, then its bidual has also the same small diameter properties. So proof is easy. If X has BDP, then its bidual has weak star version of that small diameter property. That means weak star BDP from our previous proposition. And since weak star BDP implies BDP, therefore X by X double star has BDP. And similarly, this result is also true for BHP and BSCSP also. Okay. Now we talk about LP sum and L infinity sum in Banach spaces. Basically, here we talk about the finite LP sum. So this is the definition of LP sum. If Z is LP sum of X and Y, where 1 less or equal to P less than infinity, then norm on Z is defined in this way, that norm Z power P is norm X power P plus norm Y power P for all Z. And if Z is L infinity sum of X and Y, then norm Z is equal to maximum of norm X and norm Y for all Z. And this is the stability results for BDP. So before going to the stability results, I want to state a lemma. This lemma says if Z is LP sum of X and Y, that P ranges from 1 to less than infinity, and if we consider any slice from the unit ball of X and any epsilon positive, then there always exists a slice of Bz which is contained in the slice of Bx times cross epsilon times By. And using this lemma, we can prove easily that if Z is LP sum of X and Y, where P ranges from 1 to less than infinity, then Z has BDP if and only if X or Y has BDP. But if we consider P is equal to infinity, then the result is quite different. That means if Z is L infinity sum of X and Y, then Z has BDP if and only if both X and Y have BDP. And the same stability results are also true for BHP. That means if Z is LP sum of X and Y, then Z has BHP if and only if X or Y has BHP. And if Z is L infinity sum of X and Y, then Z has BHP if and only if both X and Y have BHP. But for BSCSP, we get only the one-sided implication. That means if Z is LP sum of X and Y, where P is contained in 1 and infinity, then X or Y has BSCSP implies Z has BSCSP. But if P is 1, then we have both-sided implication that Z has BSCSP if and only if X or Y have BSCSP. And for P equal to infinity, we have only one-sided implication that if Z is L infinity sum of X and Y, then Z has BSCSP implies both X and Y have BSCSP. And this is the stability results for infinite LP sum and L infinity sum. For finite cases, we have both-sided implication, but for infinite LP sum, we have only one-sided implication. That if X is LP sum of Xi, where Xi are Banach spaces, then if one of the component spaces have small diameter properties, then the parent space also have it. And for L infinity sum, we get the reverse implication. That means if the parent space have small diameter properties, then each of its component spaces also have the same small diameter properties. And this is the stability results for weak star cases. The results are same, but the difference is here we consider, here we take our restriction on the pre-dual space. That means we are not taking Z star is the LP sum of X star and Y star. Instead of that, we are taking Z is LP sum of X and Y, because remember that for weak star small diameter properties, the function is coming from the pre-dual space, not from dual space. So here we consider our the restriction, the LP sum on pre-dual space, not the dual space. So that's the difference, and the results are same and the proofs are also same. And this is the stability results for infinite LP sum and L infinity sum for weak star cases. Okay, now we talk about the stability results under C0 sum. So C0 sum means if Xi are family of Banach spaces, then C0 sum of Xi means if we consider any element from that C0 sum, then norm Xi goes to 0. And this is the stability results for C0 sum, that if C0 sum of Xi has BDP, then each of its component spaces also have it. Proof is easy, because if this is a C0 sum, then C0 sum can be written as Xi, L infinity sum of Xi and the remaining sum. And since we have the stability result that if Z is L infinity sum of X and Y, then Z has BDP if and only if both X and Y have BDP. Using this result, we can conclude that each of these Xi has BDP. So let's give the result. But the converse implication is not true. That means if we consider C0 sum of R, then R has BDP. But C0 sum of R gives the space C0, which is the space of all sequences converging to 0. And we can prove that every convex combination of slices of the unit ball of C0 space has diameter 2. So C0 does not have BSCSP, and hence it fails to have other two small diameter properties, as BDP and BHP. Now this is a example this example shows that BDP does not imply weak star BDP, BHP does not imply weak star BHP, and BSCSP does not imply weak star BSCSP. So the example is dual of C01, which has all these small diameter properties, but it fails to have all the weak star small diameter properties. So because dual of C01 can be written as L1 sum of capital L1 space and subspace in the dual of C01 with the Redon-Nikodym property. And we know that Redon-Nikodym property, ball dentable property is a localized version of Redon-Nikodym property. So Z has RNP implies Z has BDP. And since Z has BDP, so by our stability result, which says that if we have a space, if L1 space, sorry, if one of the component spaces have small diameter properties, then L1 sum of this space also have the same small diameter properties. So here, since Z has BDP, so this L1 sum, that means dual of C01, also have the same small diameter properties, that is BDP. And since we have this implication that BDP implies BHP and BHP implies BSCSP, so dual of C01 has BDP implies it also have BHP and BSCSP. And it fails to have weak star small diameter properties, because from the result of Guerrero, Perez, and Zoka, we know that every convex combination of weak star slices in the unit ball of the dual space of C01 has diameter 2, and therefore dual of C01 doesn't have weak star BSCSP. And since we had this relation, weak star BDP implies weak star BHP implies weak star BSCSP, so it also fails to have weak star BDP and weak star BHP. Now we talk about the stability results of under Bochner spaces. So here we consider finite measure space. And before going to the stability result, I just want to recall some definitions. So the first definition is mu measurable set of function. Mu measurable, a function f is called mu measurable if it is the mu almost everywhere limit of a sequence of simple functions. But the simple function means it is the finite sum of xi times indicator function at ai, where ai are the disjoint measurable sets and xi are the non-zero elements in the Banach space X. Now we can define the Bochner integration on the simple function S by integration S d mu is equal to the sum of xi times mu ai, where S is S equal to finite sum of xi times indicator function at ai. Now a mu measurable function f is called Bochner integrable if there exists a sequence of simple functions Sn such that this limit is 0. And so we can define a Bochner integration for Bochner integrable function in a way that integration f is limit of the integration of the simple functions. And also we will denote the Banach space of all Bochner p integrable x-valued functions by the notation LP mu x, and the norm on this space is integration norm ft power p whole power 1 over p. Now we move on to the stability results. So these are the stability results. Here always we consider that finite measure space. Then if LP space have small diameter properties, then X has also the same small diameter properties. And we have proved this only for BHP and BDP. For BSCSP it is still unknown. But the reverse implication of these two propositions are not true, because we know that R has BDP, but BDP and BHP both, but L1 space, L1 mu R, where mu is Lebesgue measure on the closed interval 0, 1, which has neither BDP and nor BHP. Okay. Now we talk about three space property. So three space property means if Y is a closed subspace of X, and if Y and this quotient space have a property P, implies X also have the same property, then P is called three space property. And this, okay, in general, none of the property BDP, BHP, and BSCSP are the three space property. But if we impose a strong condition on the quotient space, then it can be a three space property. From our first proposition, we know that BSCSP is a three space property provided the quotient space is strongly regular. And from second proposition, BHP is also strongly BHP is a three space property if the quotient space is finite dimensional. But we don't have any result for BDP. And these two are conjecture. That first conjecture is BDP is a three space property provided the quotient space have RNP. And remember that where we proved only BHP is a three space property if the quotient space is finite dimensional. But we want a stronger condition that BHP is a three space property provided the quotient space have PCP. Although we have not proved these two conjecture, but we think this may be true at some point of view. We are working on these two results. Okay, now we move on to the M ideals, the small diameter properties in M ideals. Here I again want to mention the name of Professor Rao, because most of these results are inspired from his result. Before going to the definition of M ideals, I just want to mention some definitions. So the first definition is L projection. A linear projection P on X is called L projection if norm of X is equal to sum of norm Px and norm of X minus Px for all X, and M projection if norm X is a maximum of norm Px and norm of X minus Px for all X. And also annihilator of a subspace Y of X is denoted by the notation Y part, and it is the collection of all those functionals from the dual space which such that restriction of those functional on Y is 0. And this is the definition of M-ideal. So the definition says a closed subspace Y is called M-ideal if there exists an L projection P from dual space in the dual space of X with kernel is Y bar. And this is an example of M-ideal, that if K is compact Hausdorff space with isolated point, and if CKX denote the space of continuous X-valued functions with supremum norm, then we can prove that X is an M-ideal in the space CKX. And these are the stability results in M-ideals. So the stability result says if Y is an M-ideal in X, then X has small diameter properties, implies Y has also the same small diameter properties. And these are the stability results in M-ideals for weak star cases. And this says that if Y is an M-ideal of X, then Y star has small weak star version of small diameter properties. That means suppose weak star BSCSP, then X star also have it. So this is also true for weak star BDP and weak star BHP. So these two results are already there, and this result is proved by Professor Basu and Professor Rao. And then the result for weak star BDP is proved by Professor Basu. And in similar way, we have proved the result for weak star BHP. And so from this result, these stability results, we can say that X star has weak star BDP implies CK X star has also weak star BDP, and similarly for weak star BHP and weak star BSCSP, provided K is a compact Hausdorff space with an isolated point. And now we are talking about almost isometric ideal and strict ideal. So almost isometric ideal is the generalization of principle of local reflexivity. So the definition says if Y is a subspace of X, then Y is called almost isometric ideal if for every epsilon positive and every finite dimensional subspace E of X, there exists an epsilon isometry T from E to Y such that T restricted over E intersection Y is the identity map. And next is the definition of strict ideal, which says that closed subspace Y of X is called strict ideal if there exists a projection map P from X star to X star with norm P is 1 and kernel is Y part, and also the ball of the unit ball of the image space is weak star dense in Vx star. And we can also prove that a strict ideal is always an almost isometric ideal. And these are the stability results for AI ideal, I mean almost isometric ideal. So if Y is an almost isometric ideal in X, then Y has small diameter properties, implies X also have it. That means, and this is also true for BDP and BHP also. That means AI ideal lifts these small diameter properties to the whole space. And since we saw that a strict ideal is always an almost isometric ideal, so if Y is a strict ideal in X, then the same result is also true. That means Y has BSCSP implies X has BSCSP, and the same thing is also true for BDP and BHP. Okay, and these are the results for weak star cases. That means if Y is a strict ideal of X, then Y star has weak star BSCSP implies X star has weak star BSCSP. Similarly, this result is proved by Professor Basu and Professor Rao, and the result for weak star BDP is proved by Professor Basu. And similarly, we can also prove the result for weak star BHP. Okay, and but the reverse implication of these three results are not true. And this is the example. We know that every Banach space X is a strict ideal in its bidual. So we can say dual of C01 is strict ideal in C01 triple star. That means bidual of C01 star. So and C01 triple star has all these Weak-Star small diameter properties, Weak-Star BDP, Weak-Star BHP, and Weak-Star BSCSP. But dual of caesar1 doesn't have these properties: Weak-Star BDP, Weak-Star BHP, and Weak-Star BSCSP. So this is my talk, and these are the references which I have used. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your impressive talk. That's really amazing work. Are there any questions from the audience?
Yeah, nice talk, Sasmita. Also, you did a very good survey at the beginning. But some of these questions, last ones, are quite hard. So I don't quite know how would one answer these things.
Yes, and she is also working on some more problems. I don't know whether she has the slides with her. She did prepare some of the slides. Do you have those slides? Maybe you can share it with, since you have some time, some of the other things that you are doing. Yeah, so, well, right. So this
I have discussed this question.
right. Yeah, so this is another question that she's looking at. And the other thing is, of course, the diameter too. I don't know whether you have those slides. Maybe you can talk about it a little bit, since you have a little bit time.
Okay. So these are the some open questions, small diameter properties. So in 1987, these four mathematicians, Busabe, Godefroy, Maury, and Schachelmayer, proved in their monograph some topological and geometrical structure in Banach spaces that X has Rnp if and only if every closed bounded convex subset of X is the norm closed convex hull of its denting points, and PCP if and only if every closed bounded convex subset of X is the weak closure of its point of continuity, and X is strongly regular if and only if every closed bounded convex subset of X is the norm closure of its SCS points. Now, since BDP, BHP, and BSCSP are the localized version of these properties, RNP, PCP, and SR, so we can think about this question that whether this is true or not, I don't know. So BDP, if and only if BX is the closed convex hull of its denting point, and similarly BHP, if and only if BX is the weak closure of its point of continuity, and BSCSP, if and only if BX is the closure of its SCS. And yeah, there is an other phenomenon which is called big diameter property, and which is exactly opposite to our context. So there are many mathematicians who are working on this area. So they are mostly defined three diameter two properties. So first one is LD2P. This says every slice of the unit ball has diameter 2. And second one is D2P. This says every relatively weakly open subset of the unit ball has diameter 2. And third is strong ST2P. That says every convex combination of slices of the unit ball has diameter 2. And they have also defined Weak-Star version of these properties. And they also have a similar relation like small diameter properties. These are the relations among them. And yeah, this is an example which I skipped before, that there is a space. Remember, BDP implies BHP. So and BHP does not imply BDP. So this is proved in 2015 by Guerrero, Perez, and Zoka that C0 has an equivalent renorm such that every slice of the unit ball of C0 has diameter 2. But it has a relatively weakly open subset of small diameter. That means C0 has an equivalent renorm so that it has BHP but does not have BDP. And the same person in the same year have proved also that C0 has another equivalent renorm such that every relatively weakly open subset of the unit ball has diameter 2, but it has a convex combination of slices with a small diameter. So this is the example where BSCSP does not imply VHP. So this is the last slide.
Okay. Any other questions, anyone? And TSS, we should also thank you, because when we sent one of our first draft, you gave us the idea of looking into this question for Bochner spaces. So
You know, that is just natural. You have the discrete version. So I thought.
right. And then we looked at the Bochner version. Yes. Any other questions, anyone? Ajit ji, your microphone is off. I don't know whether you are talking, but your microphone is off. She's gone. Okay. Anil says nice talk. Thank you, Anil. Okay, Stefan, so should we close?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you again very much for this very nice talk. Next week, Professor Ashish Gupta will give a talk in the colloquium. Then we will hear a lot of presentations, project presentations. And in July, we have already a lot of talk in both functional analysis and number theory. Okay, then, yeah, thank you for your presence, and see you next week again at the same time.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wonderful,
Bye.
wonderful.
Thank you, Ajit ji. Thank you,
Thank
TSS.
you. I learned.
Very nice indeed. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, bye, everyone.
Okay, sure. All the best. All the best.
All the best to everybody.